Hello and welcome to Pardon the Interception, Season 37, Week 3, with your hosts, myself, Lee Wood.
Nick Taylor.
Myself, Wood Simon.
Let's take a look at what's been happening around the leagues this week, starting off, as ever, with the GFL. My God, the Mules won.
Close game for the Raiders this week, though. That's the Pirates.
So I'm as surprised as you are, Lee.
Pirates.
Well, isn't Theo trying to lose? Isn't he doing a Hulk this year? And he still scored 31 points against you.
Maybe Simon knew he's not making the playoffs and just tried to throw the match, just to get people.
No, I think it's just showing how bad my team is.
I mean, is this a case of, are you running like a level 13, 14 running back without an offensive line? So you just can't get any yards at all?
That gets you all the yards, Lee. I'll have you know.
Yeah, I hear some rumours that it gets you between 3 and 4 yards a carry, and
probably.
I can speak from experience. It doesn't.
My offense is actually better than that, but I still don't get that many yards of carry. I know I do, to be fair, actually. I did in this game anyway, 9 yards of carry, but I don't usually get that.
I remember when I had a strong running back and no line, didn't do very well.
Yeah, you just get no yards. It's ridiculous. You can do it with an outside running back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Hulk winning, race close. Mules winning, Beach Breakers still winning. Don't think they've had a real testing opponent though, if I'm honest.
They played me.
One way to find out.
Mules, Dragons, Dodgers.
They got not too tough a schedule. There's a couple of tough games towards the end.
In Wraiths? Is that like and Circle? Are they their only two big games?
Black Knights are a decent side.
Aren't they rebuilding?
2-1, doing all right.
Okay. Oh, it's last season. Yeah, okay. That's why I thought they were rebuilding.
That's a classic record, 5-5. Make the playoffs on that.
Yeah, let's take a look at the standings, see what they look like.
Things are starting to take shape. I'll go down to third in their division.
Yeah, it's because they've played the Raids and the Pistols haven't.
Still doesn't stop them from being third.
Scappa Flow are loving Simon at the minute because they help them increase. Scappa Flow and Tusky Raiders, yeah, both loving Simon for helping them increase the points differential lead over the District 12.
The NFC East is an entertaining one.
I love the fact the only team with the positive points differential sitting in third.
Yeah.
Well, that's a league.
Anyone could take that one.
That is a competitive league. I don't know if all those 4 teams are crap or good or mediocre, but all I can tell you is they're all the same.
My theory is that Rich cherry picks the really shit coaches and puts them into that division. Give himself a chance.
Well, Steve's been there since I've joined the game. Chris Weiss moved from the A,
Lee, I know nothing about these 3 people. I'm just spewing random.
I do. Gotham City Heroes used to be Dave Townsend's team. I think a few people have had them since. I can't remember exactly where Dean came from, if I'm honest.
He beat me in the bowl in the Atlantic and then came with me. I can tell you that.
Way to do it.
If I remember rightly, that is. Not that I remember these things.
Abbey Rapiers, yeah. Season 29-35.
Yeah.
I don't remember the coach of the Rapiers, Lee. Disgusting.
No. The last coach of the Rapiers I remember is Glenn White.
It's quite a while ago.
Rolling back the years though.
GFL Gridiron is a game of tradition, so we only look at the past. We never look forward.
We're going to look at 1986 or whatever it is.
1886. It's the same year that Gary graduated university. You see,
He managed to graduate.
Back then it was slightly easier. He had his words and numbers. So
Still pretty open in the GFL though.
yeah, it's pretty open as long as the NFC seems slightly more open than the AFC. I would say.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Only 3-3-0 teams in each side, so lots to play for.
Move on to the Atlantic.
Spoilers.
Many spoilers. Snowbears beating the Redcoats. The Anacondas stuff in.
Devastating loss for Alex though. Yeah, Sharks.
Tough loss for me against the Blues. Gives me an idea of roughly where my team is this season.
Big win for the Heroes. I think that's a
big win for the Heroes. Yeah,
standout win, that one. So, as is the Outlaws beating the Spartans. So
big win for you against the Stampede on the road as well.
Yeah, happy with that.
I
wasn't too confident going into it.
I believe that the Hamilton coach, whose name has eluded me for some bizarre reason, Matt, that's it. Matt was, I think, quietly confident about that game.
Yeah, did watch a little bit of the redaction, and he said he would be disappointed if he lost. So
he's disappointed currently.
Yeah, I figured I didn't really have the defense for it, and so just tried to outgun them.
It works. So, if it works, it works. So, yeah, let's take a look at the standings.
Yeah, I think the Outlaws win there is like one of the bigger talking points of beating the Spartans. Puts Captain Sandbag top of his division by a full game already.
I think we might have to promote him to Major Sandbag.
And also just means that the Outlaws look strong this season.
Yeah, the Outlaws do look strong this season. I think you're going to not go 5-5 this season.
There's still loads of games left. Still time.
CFC North, I think, is really tight.
Yeah, like I like the Heroes, but obviously they're in third at the moment due to their divisional record.
There's only been one divisional game, which makes this tiebreaker a bit weird at the minute.
Yeah, for sure. I think those divisional games are going to make a big difference in that one. Kings are putting up a good fight this season after a few seasons of looking like they had the players but not quite getting there. And the CFC West looks tough as always, but Avalanche are out ahead, and I have to say, they look the best team in the CFC, so it'll be tough to beat.
Yeah, the Generals played the Heroes, didn't they? So the Barbarians played the Stallions. I think this doesn't reflect the Heroes. I think this reflects them more, and I think they are probably going to take the CFC North.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to the Generals by 3 points at the Generals as well. So they've got a few tough games. They've got to play the Avalanche and the Snowbears. That might be tough enough for them to not take the division, to be fair. So
the Snowbears are beatable Just nobble all of his players, get them all injured, and it's fine.
I mean, Heroes are at the Barbarians this week, so that'll be a real test for them, divisional test anyway. So
MFC, I think the Blues are taking the East.
Yeah, I mean that division's relatively soft at the moment. I think Bob's doing a good job at the Comets, but
yeah,
I think they're still a season away from challenging. I guess we'll find out this week because Blues are at Comets. So
yeah, Outlaws, Redcoats, don't really know.
I think the Outlaws are too good for the Redcoats at the moment. I can't see too much beyond the Outlaws Snowbears in the conference game in that side.
I want to see what happens with the Redcoats, the Outlaws game, and then take it from there.
It's fair.
I agree the Snowbears are probably taking the South. I think the Razorbacks are probably taking the West. It'll be interesting to see what our result is this week. So I'm playing the Razorbacks this week, but I think I'm going to lose.
There's a lot of top of division clashes this week. Let's see. So I'm playing the Magpies. Barbarians Heroes is close enough. And then you've got Razorbacks Mariners, you've got Outlaws Redcoats, I think, this week. Don't have Stingrays Kings just yet. Avalanche Stampede.
It's actually a massive week in the GFLA.
Yes, Spartan Snowbears is this week as well. So yeah, like this week's going to be huge. This is a week where teams can get like 2 games ahead, or the division's wide open.
Yeah, big week. Simon, anything from you, or are you busy looking at something through a magnifying glass?
Busy looking at your mum.
So Simon's just waiting for the big sky. We all know that.
True.
Waiting for my favourite league.
Let's put him out of his misery, shall we?
The big sky.
Fire Sharks, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, not as
Fire Sharks,
Sun
Devils Irish, Rapier Stormers.
Easy
Takes some
win
massive.
for
Look at all these good
Devils.
games. This guy's woken up, Lee. Not that any of them matter, because the Rivers will win. But
there's always been good games in the Big Sky. The problem's just been the Rivers.
No, there hasn't, Lee. Lots of X to naught games.
How did Alex leave the Generals in such a bad way?
I think they were X and O going into this game.
And they got a shutout. They got
I know.
shut out.
Very odd. Yeah, they were.
Hornets scored a lot of points. We like this.
Well, they did win their first 2 games without conceding points, and maybe that says more about the teams they're playing against than how good they were.
Yeah.
It's always possible.
Typical Andy Bates score, 16-10.
Plus the Beverly Bay Backers are a decent side. So
BBP. Let's see what that's done to the most boring standards in the world, because we know that the Rivers are winning the entire thing.
Do you not think anyone else has a chance at all?
I like the LFC North at the minute.
2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Yeah.
All with a positive points differential as well.
LFC West looks like a challenging one. A few rebuilds going on there by the looks of it. But a lot of the same teams who are normally up there are up there. You know, like Generals, Rapiers, Rivets, Eagles, Beverly Bay Packers.
Tripsum.
Central Coast Surfers as well.
Tripsum. Long live
We don't
Tripsum.
talk about Gary fucking Stevens anymore.
Didn't talk about Colin Andrew though. What a man.
No. There's not too many things changing. It'd be interesting to see how good the Beverly Bay Packers are this season, I think. I think that's
Yeah.
they're a team to look at, especially as let's say I'm not sure how good the Generals are, but they shut them out. So that's something.
Hold them to 0 points after they scored loads against rubbish teams, maybe.
Yeah, they scored 98 points in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I guess they get to play the Rivets in week 9, so then we really find out whether they've got a chance or not. So, yeah, I think if anyone's going to challenge the Rivets this season, at the moment it looks like it's coming from within the PFC. That's not
That
to say
seems fair.
someone from the LFC can't come through, but the LFC looks actually fairly tight in general. So, I mean, all of the LFC North teams are in the must be in the playoff race at the moment. So,
let's have a look around the Continental.
shock result in this one, do you?
Badgers lost.
Yeah.
Now, the important thing is how Mr. Mustard did.
Mr. Mustard.
Mr. Mustard.
The Angels won. They beat the Venom.
That is Mr. Mustard. Disappointing number of points, though.
Yeah, quiet game for them.
But, I expect more.
I think it's a huge result for the machine, though, beating the Badgers.
That's huge. Westie's only winning by points quite big as well.
So
Eagles Renegades, that Eagles winning that, I think we've been talking about. I know we've been speaking about the Renegades for seasons and seasons. The Eagles, I think, we were speaking about last season quite a lot.
So, yeah, it's actually quite a lot of close games this week in the Continental.
Still winning Royals
7 points.
The Destruction, I know we were talking about Destruction last year. The Royals beating them. Yeah, it's actually a good mix of like 1 to 2 score games here. Let's see what it's done to the standings. Hopefully, the tables are relatively tight as well. They're not bad.
I've worked out what's happened to the Angels.
What happened to them?
They've got a wide receiver with an E. Oh, he had a F.
Beating. That's a beatdown right there.
Alphabet soup.
That's why they're not scoring 2 million points.
The UFC side of things is I think we know who's out top here. We've got 5-3-0 teams and 3-2-1 teams. So
making it easy for us. Thank you, Continental.
Yeah.
I mean, the RFC is not too far behind. What they've got 3-3-0 teams and 5-2-1 teams. So there's your playoffs.
You've pretty much got 16 competitive teams.
Nice to see a caretaker winning a division at the moment as well. Everyone loves to see that.
Yeah.
I think
a good coach.
There's meant to be a rule somewhere that caretakers aren't allowed to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure one has before.
Someone was going to last season, I think.
Yeah, and they parachuted a coach. Rich Jackson nearly took a team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was like the Big Sky or something. Someone was coaching.
It
was something like that. But big game this week though. Zulus playing Westies. Yeah.
Hey. Go on, Jeff. Go on, Jeff. Go on, Jeff.
And also, Angels are playing the Royals, so 2 big games there.
Yeah.
2 3-0 records are going down.
At least
In
2.
fact, 3
Could
are going
be
down.
I've got
Timberwolves are playing Eagles.
Hey. Now we're talking.
So,
we could have three ties and they're all destroyed.
yeah, I mean, this is another league where a lot of the top 2 teams are playing one another. So another week that's going to really shape things up. You got Bullets Renegades as well. Got Spartans Classics.
It's as though the random schedule bot has actually scheduled quite a tasty week 4 in multiple leagues.
Yeah, certainly going to make things interesting. Well, it'll either make things interesting or put some front runners well ahead. So it's catch up time for everyone else. But Continental's looking whilst we have divided them up into 3-0-2-1 teams and others, it could all change this week if the results go one way or another. So
Delta Rooney, as predicted, the Sandbaggers beat the Colts.
Didn't just beat them; they destroyed them. So
boom.
I mean, it's a beating that Jeff had, the likes of which Jeff hasn't seen since he retired from his job.
I think the Colts are beaten into next season with that result, aren't they?
Pretty much.
The important thing is the Metros bouncing back from the Simon Bowl loss.
I thought you were going to mention
They
Warriors losing.
beat La Jolla. Jeez, I missed that when I was looking through the results.
I thought I'd point it out.
Anyone beating La Jolla is interested.
When you win the Simon Bowl, or lose.
Yeah, well, it's made your division interesting because the Hornets beat the Warriors as well. So
now look at our division; it'll all come crumbling down.
The Monarchs beating the Silverbacks. That's big. Did I lose this week? No. Okay, I was playing the Fury, so I'd be hard pressed to lose.
Oh. You scored more points than they've scored all season. So
Mariners beat the Centurions. So that's quite big as well, actually. Mad Dog beat the Flopperheads. This is quite a big result as well. It shows that the Cougars are probably still there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're on the edge.
Go 49ers. Go 49ers.
49ers are winning.
They've got a tough division, though.
Standings are going to be interesting here, I feel.
49ers are third in their division. As I say, GFC North, it's all happening. Hornets, Venom, and Metros are all there.
You playing the Hornets this week, Simon?
Oh, that'd be a good game, wouldn't it? No, I'm not. I'm playing the Cyclones.
He's playing the Cyclones.
Although I have a bad history against the Cyclones, so.
Katana's at Mariners this week. Mariners with the classic 100 points scored, 100 points conceded.
But not a single tie.
So, do you think anyone can beat the Katanas this season?
Yes.
Who?
Injuries.
That can beat anyone.
It's the honest answer. Catastrophic injuries, I think, are the only thing that are stopping them making it to the bowl.
They do look rather good, don't they?
I think any team theoretically can beat them in the bowl because bowls can be a crapshoot, but it would take a lot.
Can you realistically see anyone from the GFC beating them in the bowl, though?
Lawyer. So I think two coaches that are capable of game planning the Katanas out the bowl are Aaron and Eric.
Do you think the Sunblazers are good enough to do anything against them?
We'll find out.
I don't know. What I would need to. So this is always a difficult one because
struggle to beat the Titans, right? So
yeah, I mean
the other thing is Lee has been around the game for a while and he spent a lot of time being mediocre, then really learned how to game plan and dive into the game. Bernard's a new coach, second season. He was appointed in
Third
season
season.
35, third season. Does he have the game plan skills to game plan against the Katanas?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Lee sucks.
Which Lee are we talking about here?
Both. It works across.
Do you have any chance this season, Lee?
No.
Simon, do you have any chance this season?
No.
This record is 100% who I've played.
I'll scrape into the bowl. I'll be happy.
I figured that was the case, but I figured I'd ask anyway. So
I traded out my number one offensive weapon. That should tell you everything I need.
That was silly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Let's trade out the age 8-9 running back that I can't win the bowl with this season because I don't have the roster around him.
Oh no, I'm joking.
But yeah. and where's that got the person that traded him in 1 and 2?
Yeah. But still
is he actually? I'm assuming he's starting him. He is, but he's starting him in I form, and that's the problem.
They got a tough.
He's used to playing in ace.
They've got a big game this week. Warriors at the Lone Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, the Delta just feels like a little bit like Big Sky Light. I can't really see past the Katanas. So that's not to say it's not.
That's probably fair at this exact point.
I think there's a few teams on the downswing, few teams on the
upswing. I would say this season you're correct. Previous seasons,
oh yeah, for sure. There's
we haven't had the same level. We've had a small number of teams be very powerful for a long time, but we haven't had anyone of the same dominance of a single team.
Yeah. So it's been interesting seeing the Delta from this perspective. Like the VFC East always felt like a very strong division, and it feels that this season they've certainly all dropped down a level.
Blew up the team. It's called Jeff. And don't really know about the top two.
But then also on a similar level, like La Jolla and Corpus Christi feel like they're on they're teetering on the downward spiral a little bit.
Yeah,
don't quite feel.
To be fair, I think the Katanas, Cougars, Warriors, Lone Stars, they're all on a knife edge. They've all been on a knife edge for a few seasons of struggling to keep a very strong roster together, and it's sort of a mixture of luck and skill to keep them competitive.
Yeah. I mean, like a bad aging can be pretty brutal, for example, or players not coaching well. So.
Yeah, or your roster starts to get a bit thinner and thinner at certain positions. And so 1 or 2 injuries can turn a 10-0 season into a 2-8 season.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who makes the 2 conference games. I think they're a bit more open. But I think Katana's got to be way out in front in terms of being favourites for the bowl.
I want to work out. See how bad my schedule is. I think I've got a relatively easy schedule depending on how I do against Dover this week. I might be able to steal the number 2 seed, which means I get to lose to La Jolla like a little bit later.
You mean Froome?
Yeah, Froome. Sorry, don't ask me why I said La Jolla.
Although, if you're looking towards losing to La Jolla, that means you're going to make the bowl. So,
yeah, that's not.
Are you captaining Sandbag? Are you the real Sandbagger? Is that what's happening here? You traded out your running back, but actually that he was like the worst player on your roster.
I will show you my roster after I've stopped sharing after I've stopped recording, and you can see that I am not a sandbagger. Yeah. Anything else before we move on, Simon?
No,
You've been uncharacteristically quiet.
You know, waiting for the Empire.
I mean, the Delta's an interesting place beyond the Katana, so it's interesting getting some.
It's interesting seeing where the Delta's going to be in 2 seasons, is what I'd
Yeah,
say.
exactly. I think there's teams on the up and a few teams that if they can patch a few holes are probably able to ride out the slight downswing. So
Speaking about the Empire, the Kings lost.
yeah, well they got a new coach this season.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So
District 12 won, Red Bulls won. I think our Cube lost again.
They won.
Boise.
Oh, they won. Did I actually comment on their game this week?
Probably knowing you.
No, first week I haven't.
Lots of points in the Thundering Herd game again, but they lost again. So I have to find a new team soon in the Empire.
You might have to.
The High Hunters won. You need to find a team that's fun to say. Swale Seahawks kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit.
I think the Red Bull Jaguars game was pretty huge. I think I said the Jaguars had an outside shot in that game, but clearly not.
I think most things went how we expected them.
To say that game was an interesting game. I think the Bounty District Storm game was an interesting one, just to see how good the Storm really are, and turns out they are really good.
Yeah, I think we expected both these results, but flagged them as
potential banana skins.
Seeing where they are games.
Yeah.
Like the difference in score was going to show how powerful the perceived more powerful team was.
Yeah. So those 2 results are big, and the Kings losing is also an interesting one.
Let's see what that's done to this. Not the results. The
I mean, the big thing from this week is the Thundering Herd had the best quarterback for passing yards with 609 yards.
That's a lot of yards, but still lost.
Yeah. Well, it's the only way. It's the one thing they can win at. So, well, Griffins and Red Bulls are still battling out in the south.
Are they playing this week?
Indeed, Griffins at Red Bulls, so it's a big game.
Are the Monarchs playing the Sharks as well?
They are. So we're going to lose a few 3-0 records.
Our next games of the week. That's the real question.
I haven't really mentioned any games of the week this week. I think the Red Bulls Griffins is game of the week in the Empire. So that should be a good game. I think it might be a slightly less exciting season in the Empire. I think we've got 3 teams, certainly in the BFC side of things, probably the 3 favourites.
It's not that unexpected. I mean, it's been such a competitive league for so long to have a small dip off.
And then on the PFC side of things, I think the Storm look quite a way ahead of everyone else at the moment.
I'm looking forward to Monarch Sharks.
It should be an interesting game. Don't really know who's going to win that one. That one's definitely a game that could go either way. Same with Red Bulls Griffins, I guess. I think the Griffins were pretty impressive last season, if I remember correctly. But
they were, yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, is there anything else before we bring this to a close?
I think this week's going to be a super interesting week. Lots of divisional games makes it that way. So things will really start shaping up next week.
Okay, with that, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye-bye.